to another episode of Umineko, Turn of the Golden Witch. As always, this is a murder mystery game with some pretty heavy content warnings. It's all in writing, not in visuals, but something to keep in mind. Let me also set up the audio. There we go. There's our wonderful seagull. And, yeah, so a lot happened last time, which is now 2 weeks ago, so bear with me as I try to remember. Let me just start it off and take a look at all our characters. Is my audio left? Yeah, so a lot happened at the time. 6 people were murdered by an unknown assailant. But it might be the literal actual witch Beatrice. We don't know. She showed up. Or did she? We don't know. Several people saw her though, so that's pretty compelling. So right now, this is our suspect number 1. She just kind of randomly showed up at a time where it was kind of impossible for her to show up because of the typhoon. So it's all very mysterious and weird. She has also not been seen since the murder. People who were murdered are basically all the kids' parents. I also just realized that we haven't been reading any of these this whole time. Whenever people are murdered in this game, or whenever people die, their character portrait changes and their description changes. And that's a lot of extra reading that I need to be keeping track of, honestly. Oh boy. Okay. Well. Yeah. Basically, they were murdered by having their stomachs sliced open and then packed with candy, which is incredibly upsetting. And yeah, this is 6 adults being taken out all in one fell swoop, so that doesn't bode well for our protagonist. So things are a little tense right now. And that's kind of... No, the important thing. Maria has been talking about the witch this entire episode, even more than the last episode, and has apparently been hanging out with Beatrice. And at the scene of the murder, on the wall, in blood-like paint, was written, "Happy Halloween for Maria." So that kind of implies that these murders are a tribute to a weird 9-year-old girl. After finding out that her parents were murdered, Jessica ran out to go and basically fist fight whoever did it, which is most likely Beatrice, they're thinking. So that's where we left off last time. And yeah. Lady, please, calm yourself. We still don't know who the culprit is. And Beatrice-sama is an important and honored guest of the Master. So what? If we grab her by the collar, she'll definitely confess. If I can just look her in the eye, I'll know. I'll see through her. A witch? Beatrice? Yeah, right. I'll expose her. Jessica never stopped moving. Gora and Kano chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinzo wouldn't let them in there. And yet, the servants were always made to clean this room so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the Witch's VIP, after the second shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too, and she couldn't forgive the arrogance of the one who called herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch is just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch. To Jessica, she was nothing more or less than the murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses, make her splutter in pain, gasp in anguish. No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch, I'll teach her. She's just a stinking, sweaty human. As Jessica yelled with all of her strength, she hit the door to the VIP room. It definitely wasn't a knock. The sound was the beating of her anger's hammer, as if she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't open. Open up, Beatrice! Come out! You hear me, right? Open up! There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt the resistance of the lock. She turned around to look at the two servants and spoke. The master key will unlock this, right? Use it. Milady, that would be horribly rude. Although Goda was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head silently for a while, Kanon pulled a master key from his jacket pocket. Kanon-san, are you sure? Yes, I'm fully aware it would be rude if she happened to be in there. At any rate, if Beatrice had nothing to do with that incident, all she has to do is give us a satisfying explanation. That's right, exactly. Let me borrow that. Hi Scott, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Jessica snatched the master key from Kanon's hand and violently shoved it into the key. Immediately, there was a small sound, and she felt a lock click. Then, without asking permission, she flung the door open. Beatrice, where are you? Come out! Jessica rudely stepped into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to be seen. That bitch! She's not here. Where the hell'd she go? Yes, she doesn't seem to be here. Jessica, thinking she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked behind the curtains and under the bed, but she couldn't find anyone. However, there definitely were signs that the bed had been used. And though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people, like a chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in the room, but she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice. They had only been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in the portrait, so they were doubtful about what her face would look like. However, Kanon alone had met her. He understood what kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had. So he knew that by forcing their way in here in search for her definitely wouldn't work out. He must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at him. He was that kind of person. Because he was looking at things that way, Kanon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person, so they didn't notice. Near a water jug on the side table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain pen, which had probably been used to write it. Kanon had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they'd been overcome by rage and barged in here, only to find no one. So of course the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. So in other words, that's what this must be. Milady, there's something written here. Something written? What? Jessica dashed over and violently snatched the piece of paper away. She probably wasn't trying to cry. She just couldn't control her strength right now. What the? Don't fuck with me! As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into a wild rage, crumpled the paper up and threw it. Then, she grabbed a light stand by the bedside, violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls and furniture with it. The light bulbs all shattered at once, and the fragments were scattered across them. Milady, please, calm down. You'll hurt yourself. Let go! Damn it! Damn it! Come out, Beatrice! How could you do that to Mom and Dad? You think you scare me? I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll beat you to death, so show yourself. I told you to let go of me, damn it! This was written on the paper. Did you think I'd be that senile to just sit around here waiting for you to come barging in? You're way too inelegant for this intellectual night. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Oh right, I saw them, and they looked just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of between. It was the sort of thing that which would lie. It meant he'd predicted that one of the children who lost their parents would come running in. If she's hiding somewhere in this room, he must be rolling around laughing. Which was that kind of person. He sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years. Hand it over. I'm telling you, you'll hurt yourself. I told you to let go. Damn it, damn it. Ugh. Go snatched away the light stand Jessica had. After all, if she kept swinging it around, she might end up smashing it against something, which could cause serious injury. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with the flames of anger. But Kano's eyes saw it differently. Those were probably tears of sadness, hidden by rage. So, when the light stand was taken from Jessica, she just started crying on the floor, scratching at the carpet, almost as though she was probably. Goda was surprised, but Kano was not. Of course. She had lost her means of crying by lashing out in rage. Dad, Mom. Considering that she was a daughter of the Ushiromiya head family, she was in a very shabby state. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, and even her feet were scratching. Jessica cried very, because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again and swallow her up. But over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron would look like. Don't you call them morons. Both Dad and Mom were smart. Unlike me, they were really smart. Don't you call them morons. Take it back. Take it back. Alright, I saw them, and they looked just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full and fine. Damn it. I'll kill her, I'll slice open her stomach and see how she likes it. As Jessica cried and screamed, it triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her, rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath. The hell? You've got the time to do that? Search for that bastard. Find him and bring him here. If you won't go, I will. I'll kill him with my own hands. I'll slice open her stomach. Don't touch me. Damn it, damn it. Jessica got up unsteadily, and as her asthma continued, she went out to the hallway. Lady, your medicine, quickly. I will call Dr. Nanjo. Would you leave this to me? Kanon had noticed. Koda, who was vastly separated from her in age, probably couldn't sense the tears in Jessica's heart. Kanon, who had noticed, had to be the one to support her. Kanon-san, are you sure? I believe Milady needs some time to cry right now, considering that she saw her parents killed like that. You're right. Koda also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Kanon had shared a vague relationship with each other. So he understood everything and left it to Koda. Very well. I will go back to Rosa-san. Please, take care of Milady. Yes. Leave it to me. Kanon's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly. After looking at his eyes, Koda nodded firmly as well. Koda was a veteran with many years behind him. He'd seen a great number of people in his life. So he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possessed self-control. He had surely seen that in Kanon's eyes. So he would leave this to come. When you think about it, maybe this was the first time Koda had ever trusted Kanon and relied on him for the job. Jessica, still suffering from her asthma, seemed to be heading towards her room, though she kept leaning against the wall. Kanon followed, wordless. If she had asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance, where he could come to her rescue at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their sides, you can bet 10 billion of them would want to turn around and find someone in the place Kanon now stood as he watched over Jessica from. Gonna take a quick sip. Tea. Then finally, double over in front of the door to her room. The asthma attack had stolen all her strength, and her thoughts had gotten hazy from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible even to stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intention, Jessica would have wanted to tear it off right then. She knew how unfair that would be, so she definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica had probably lost the willpower even to call for help, but Kanon heard it. He definitely heard it. Kanon definitely heard that voice call for help, one shared by miserable grievers the world round. An endless scream that no one ever seems to hear. Kanon quietly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, he accepted it, unlocked the door to her, and entered. I'll pick your medicine right away. Coffee noises. More coffee noises. Jessica often said that when her asthma got serious enough, it hurt so bad that it felt like she'd vomit up her whole stomach. Her face was pale and her gaze wavered. Yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. After having her sit on the bed, Kanon took a bronchodilator from a cute little basket on a nearby side table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to have happened, Kanon would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler, the first aid kit, in the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself, as though wondering how he could call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. To be fair, I mean, people got, hurt him. You know. Then he remembered the day when he'd used that word, and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Conan's heart, but he felt it would be indiscreet to think about something like that, considering how Jessica was now. And he locked it up inside the depths of his heart. He inhaled her medicine. Jessica's wild breathing calmed down, bit by bit. She was finally able to regain her composure. But she'd lost too much strength and willpower to get up from the bed. Are you alright? Wait. I'm over. Messed up over Mom and Dad. But after I cry a bit more, I'll be alright. Conan regretted his poor choice of words. Did he really say, "Are you alright" to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made him burn. This was why he couldn't become human. I'll be in the corridor. Need anything, please call me immediately. Conan understood that she still needed some time to cry alone. He told her to call him at any time, bowed, and tried to leave the room. Do you need something? Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted it to stop, so Conan could stop. If she asks it, I'll do anything I can to help. Right now, I'd become even a cane or a chair for helping the pain in her heart. If, by doing that, I could make up for the pain I dealt to her heart that day. For a while, Jessica stared at Conan's eyes. It was as though her reason for stopping him was something she couldn't put into words. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that with a small. I'm sorry. It's nothing. Could you tell Aunt Rosa that I want to be alone for a while? I won't let you be. I won't let you be alone. So I will be in the corridor. Please call for me at any time. For just an instant, it looked like some kind of hope had flooded into Jessica's eyes. But it was very faint, and disappeared like the first snow on the surface of a river. Hey, let me cry alone. Just a bit. Excuse me. Conan bowed once again and closed the door. He thought those words of his would give him courage, but now it felt as though they'd actually hurt him for some reason. Why? He didn't know. Surely that was because he was furniture. That was why he couldn't grasp human sadness, even now. As Conan repeatedly questioned himself, he walked down the corridor. He felt like the window at the corridor's end was fully calling to him. Am I nothing but furniture after? It was still pouring outside, a dark, gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean, know that it was blue. To my eye, even if it cleared up, I would only see gray. Until I can understand the blue of the ocean, I'll be nothing but furniture, imitating it. No, that's fine, Scott. Also, hi. I'm having a good day. You really don't understand a woman's heart, do you? At times like that, you ought to silently remain by her side. That, why your furniture. shouldn't have been any trace of human life in this corridor. It had been an empty corridor filled with frigid air. But those scoffing words approached the tunnel behind. When he turned around, he saw that witch. That witch who hadn't shown herself when Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left that sneering letter to toy with Jessica. And there are 3 ways to hurt a woman. Let me teach you. 1 is to hurt them with a blade. Another is to hurt them in their heart. The last way is the most difficult and most effective method of hurting. And yet, it can hurt them without you even realizing it. Do you know what I mean? How could I know? I don't even want to know. It's to betray their expectations. No living being is more of a dreamer than a woman. They make up dreams all on their own, and end up hurting their own selves. A distant man like you hurts women the most. You couldn't understand. You have no idea how deeply you've wounded Jessica. After all, you're furniture. I have no intention of playing along with your nonsense. Did you appear only to sneer at me? Don't be so full of yourself, furniture. You aren't worth sneering at. Still, though you may not be worth my time on your own, if the 2 of you are gathered, that's all I need. The pleasure that comes from laughing at the fates of young couples never tired me. What did you say? You don't mean... My lady's going to be... I need 2 who are clothed for the sacrifices of the second twilight. The 2 of you truly are convenient. Wait, don't misunderstand. Milady and I don't have that kind of relationship. We can't become the sacrifices for the second twilight. And that's why you hurt Jessica. That's why you cannot become human. Then there should be no problem. If you won't admit you have feelings for Jessica, I can accept that. But I will kill her. Why? You idiot. Isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twist in pain. Why else? Following the rules of the ceremony, 13 people will be sacrificed on my will. However, there's no rule that says I can't kill more. If it amuses me, I can kill any number of people. So I will. Make me laugh as hard as I can. Conan the furniture. At that time, Conan definitely heard Jessica's. When he blinked and looked down the corridor, the witch who had supposedly been there so nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there all alone in the corridor, doing nothing. I will save the game, thank you. Hello, babe, how are you doing? I will also take a quick sip of water. Tired? Oh yeah, no, I did say that, yeah. I'm sorry that you're tired. Had trouble forming a sentence just then. I hope you can get enough sleep tonight. That, you know, that you're not as tired tomorrow. That would be nice. Cool. As I forgot which button to press. Looks a little loud on the equalizer, but if the music is quiet, please let me know, and I will fix it. Yeah, as for quick recap for this episode, it's mostly been talking. Jessica's been really pissed off about her parents not being murdered, and it looks like the next 2 murders are about to happen. Yeah, but I need some more water. Get that sorted out. Okay. At that moment, he was just standing there, all alone in the corridor, doing nothing. And the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious what he should do. It wasn't logical. It was an electric reflex, without a trace of hesitation or distraction. There was a person he wanted to protect. She was asking for help. I'm sorry, Lulu. I swear that we don't plan to all stream at the same time. Also, hi, I hope you're doing good. And, at that moment, he genuinely wanted the person by your side to be him. When he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced, almost as though a gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it. I've seen this spectacle before. This isn't gold leaf. It's countless golden butterflies, Beatrice's minion. I wish, because then, if we did have a secret group chat for that, I feel like we would plan it so that we don't stream at the same time. Also have a good day at work. I'll stop breaking the tension now. The music got me a little tense, and I'm like, must ramble to not be as tense, but we're good. I'm good. Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies. Yeah, I'm fine. I know it happens and it's bad. You know, I'm good, don't worry. Waving her hands around, trying frantically to drive them away. Milady. Kanku. Help. Kanon rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed a cloud of butterflies away. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face, trying to crawl in through her mouth and nose. Jessica choked violently, almost as though the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. When Kanon ran towards her, the butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo around the pair. I know that's the type of dance, don't know how to pronounce it. Kanon-kun. It's okay. While there's still life in me, I won't let anyone lay a finger. Come out, Beatrice. Are you happy now? As he stood guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler, seemed to be in pain, Kanon yelled into the empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. I'll save the explanation for later. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. I already got that. Then, he showed us that. It wasn't in response to Kanon's demand. It was obviously because appearing and sneering would bring them even more humiliation. And plus, it was fun. Now everything fits into the plot. Now you're carp on the chopping board. No, since we've got a pair of you, better call it duck with a green onion. You... Beatrice. Please, stand back. I'll protect you, milady. When the princess and the knight come together, it's inevitable that the witch will appear. Yes, why don't you show me how much power Kinzo's furniture can muster? She snapped her fingers with a piercing sound. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up, and they began to form a small mountain as they whirled around on the surface. It was just like the swirling of a cold wintry wind that builds up a mountain of leaves. From that mound of gold, a hand sprouted, and it appeared, as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground. What is this? What the hell is this? Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. It was the bite of wisdom seen in those trying to understand something incomprehensible. That thing crawling up was probably an attendant who served the witch. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served. But its face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with pitch black hair, breathed rotten breath, and its eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And, to symbolize its non-human status, it had 2 horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch. By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say. All this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense. She couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica hadn't realized that this island had already been cut off from the rules of our world. But there were some things even she could understand. This coat attendant served the witch and was after her life. And apparently, the witch had already given him the order. She was looking at Kama with an expectant gaze. She looked at him with an expectant and therefore challenging gaze, as though asking him how he intended to protect this maiden. Though the attendant had looked especially bestial while crawling to its feet, you could see in the way it carried itself that it possessed more than enough grace to be worthy of serving the Golden Witch. And you could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture wanting to meet its master's expectation. Well then, why don't you show me? Let's see the power of Kinzo's furniture. This time, don't get the wrong idea, okay? Don't forget that you're furniture. Got it? If you try to continue playing the human even now, this won't be settled by your death alone. The goat attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at its master, or was it offered to Kano, its opponent? Then, on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared. Ooh. Respectful bow, sir. What the hell is that? Jessica had been unable to understand what was happening before her eyes for a while now. All she understood was that this glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life. And right now, that was enough. Conan spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back. Lady, please stay back against the wall. Never let your back leave the wall. It's only right for the maiden to obediently hide behind the great white back. I do hope you enjoy the pleasure of having your life protected by a nymph. Now, Kanon, let's have a look at your blade. And that's where I'm going to take it. I'm not trolling. I'm just trolling a little bit. Which I promise you is very appropriate. But I need to get some more water, and I need to get like a cough drop or something because I can feel my throat being kind of like gravelly. So, you know, we gotta make sure that it's all functioning and stuff. When I get back, I will explain the laughter because it's a whole thing. I will explain. And, yeah, back in a sec. Okay, I have returned. I'll leave the screen up for a little longer so I can explain about the laughter. Actually, hold on. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so you might have noticed. Okay, no, I'll start at the beginning. The laughter is like the witch's evil laughter, and when she laughs, usually she'll make like a specific face, and we, the fandom, call that the troll face. And to the point where this model has a troll face animation built in. I added it, and it looks like this. And it is 1 second and 0.8 seconds long. And why is that? The audio file for the evil laughter, it is that length. So I made this to be paired with the laughter. And the file is called ahaha.wave. And if you have the Better TTV plugin, you might have noticed that there's a little icon emote in there that looks like Beatrice. And I found it's called ahaha wave. And I found this by literally typing in ahaha wave. And it looks like that. This is the face that Beatrice makes in the original game with the original art. It looks a little different than the mod that I'm using, of course. But yeah, ahaha.wave. Because that's the laugh. It's like ahaha, you know. I wish I was better at it. I just do a generic evil laugh, but you know, it's nothing can compare. It's, I don't know. It's just iconic. I love it a lot. That's why I had to make like the creepy face, and it's a little broken actually. The eyes should be it shouldn't go over the eyes, but I couldn't fix it. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's basically when Beatrice is around and she's being mean or rude to people, odds are you're gonna hear her laugh like that. And ahaha.wave is gonna be playing, and that's great. We stand. That's what the kids say, right? I mean, I could probably literally play it right now, but trust me, it'll probably happen again, very, very soon. So no worries there. Yeah. That's giving me ideas. Now you can go to. That's great. I'm glad. I will stop giving you spoilers, but I feel like it's not a spoiler to say that shit's about to go down. I feel like that was, you know, foreshadowed. I know. You're not wrong though. I need to not spoil things, and that's been difficult sometimes, because sometimes I have like reactions, because I already know how this entire story goes, but reading it again means that I see it in a different light, and I'm like, oh, that means this and that means that they're, you know, and I have to really not react. So that is difficult. so far I've managed, so I try. But yeah, that's the story. And I hope you have a good night, babe, and that you get enough sleep. Thank you for dropping by, and thank you for the save reminder again. Speaking of, okay, I think I'm ready to get back into it. I just need to switch audio. Duh. Let's go. Because this next bit, good, very good. Let's go. Let's save. This one's for vaping. Beautiful. At least when it comes to giving birth to furniture, Kinzo might even reach up as far as my feet. A thing like this can't even be used to trim the roses. Kono-kun, what's... I didn't want to show you. So, you've taken it out. How does it feel to expose your subhumanity in front of the girl you care for? Be silent. So you'll act composed even though you're really burning with wrath? Yes, they do say that truly hot flames burn a cool blue. Is that how you are now? There's no way I could kill you with my power. You or the moon. I could never smash the moon by throwing a rock. However, in order to manifest yourself, you had to reflect your image off the surface of the water. If you throw a rock at the surface of the water, you might be able to disturb the moon's image for some time. But that doesn't mean the moon has been smashed. So, until this life of mine is over, I'll keep on striking your reflection. I like it, Kano. Begin, furniture. I should have done epilepsy. That was so cool. What a beautiful curve. The witch's words of admiration broke the silence, and for just an instant, they broke Jessica's paralysis. Am I dreaming? Come, furniture of the witch. I'll beat you down to the hell you came from. A strand of red had been left on Connell's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly. Feel free to mutter excuses about how your instincts still haven't quite returned yet. Come, stay strong. It's okay. I won't die just yet. Oh shit. Sorry, that was brutal. Damn. The curve drawn by the goat attendant's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Kanon wasn't there. He was behind it. Go back and await your master's return. Die. If this battle of drawing sparkling curves was chess, then Kanon was coming from behind was check. And press, and press, and press, and press. Use 7 moves and make it mate. Perhaps the goat attendant hadn't even been granted the ability to go into death throes. As its knees buckled and it fell over, it broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a pop. That's a boy. But there was no sound of it hitting the ground. Even those unable to understand this battle surely realized that Kanon had been magnificent. So it couldn't win against a handmade piece. It seems you aren't quite that pathetic. You're next, Beatrice. The instant Kanon's blade sliced diagonally through the witch's form like a knife through butter, she turned gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and for just an instant, the room was filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Kanon himself had said. Slicing Beatrice was just the same as slicing the surface of the water where the moon reflected. The witch's form, with an ordinary expression on her face, though she'd been there the whole time, was right behind Kanon. You've provided quite an entertaining show. Out of respect for that, thought about letting you off the hook, but your rudeness now has made me change my mind. Don't lie. I won't let you kill my lady. Even if that's impossible, I won't let you kill her while I still live. You can't even do that much. Do not speak, furniture. Be silent, furniture. Know your place, furniture. Kanon-kun isn't furniture. What makes you think that? I don't need a reason. Kanon-kun is Kanon-kun. No, his real name is different, but a name doesn't make him furniture. Kanon-kun has his own way of living. That's a noble thing. It's something he gets to decide for himself. You say he can't have an opinion because he's furniture, that he can't live his own life because he's furniture? That's wrong. Milady, you mustn't provoke her. No, I've got to make this clear. Kanon-kun isn't furniture. It's human. What? Kanon-kun rushed to save me of his own free will, and he stood in the path of a fearsome witch like you. He had so many chances to just let me go, but he didn't. Self-sacrifice is part of the noble spirit that only humans have. That means Kanon-kun is human. So take it back. Don't you call Kanon-kun furniture again. Be silent, human. Let's end this quickly, since there's still just the second twilight after all. Now, I shall sacrifice the two who are close, who've acknowledged each other's dignity. Well then, arise, forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory, lust. The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face. Oh god, your voice. Give me a sec. Asmodeus of Lust, right here. So many voices. I've had enough of this farce. Quickly, execute the second twilight. Don't keep me waiting, got it. As you command. Another weirdo's shown up. It took Kanon less than an instant to understand. That gold face from a second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value. Wow, I must be lucky to be given such wonderful prey. He's scared. How cute. Come, furniture of the witch. I won't be killed by you. You're acting pretty smart for a dunce who can't even follow me with his eyes. Here I go, okay? Hey, where do you want it? Where do you want me to pierce you? Answer me, cutie. I'll pierce you good wherever you want. Come on, answer me, cutie. Don't call me cute. Here we go, you dunce. Come on, try and follow me, you blind idiot. Could follow it with my eye, but I guess spot on. Serves you right. Conan's back had been the target, but Jessica had predicted it. She'd predicted that the witch's target would be the complete opposite of fair, honest, his back. But she had no way to block it. She hadn't planned on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Conan's back. So she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed its form into a demon's stake, was buried deep into Jessica's back. It was an obviously fatal wound that reached as far as it went. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh. Because it had hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch had predicted. What's wrong, Connell? The Lady Jessica just got killed while you still live, didn't she? Yes, that's it. That look on your face is what I wanted to see. How truly enjoyable. That's enough. Die, make me laugh. Come, arise, forgive the sin. One of the 7 stakes of purgatory. Wrath. Satan of wrath. Right here. This prey is yours. Eat him up right now and close the curtain on his state. If you were a human, I'd say it's time for you to step down. But since you're furniture, maybe I should say it's time for the stage manager to carry you behind the stage. I am not furniture anymore. I won't doubt that again. Oh, what's this? You want to be killed by me again? Chest, it's so warm. Feels so good to pierce. Come on, let me have another taste, okay? Would you make me feel really, really good with that hot, fresh blood in that warm chest of yours? There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker filled the entire room. And before he could blink, it was already right in the center of his chest. When you take a piece in chest, the rules say it's impossible for opponents to defend itself. So, this was an obvious result, in accordance with the rule. Kanon landed on his knee. And he apologized. Not to them, and not to Milady. He apologized to Jessica. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. Don't worry about it. We're really cool. Kanon finally fell over. He landed next to Jessica. Two lay there, like the consolation gem. You know, Kanon-kun, you aren't furniture. It was too late in realizing that. I wanted to ask you. My real name. In his last moments, Kanon wanted to tell her his real name. But Jessica had already fallen into a sleep from which she would never wake. So Kanon's real name, which he had protected until today, in the end, couldn't tell it to Jessica. Those were the last words Kanon left behind. Don't make me laugh, furniture. Even after 100 years, furniture will still be furniture. Have you ever heard of anyone stupid enough to dig a grave for their furniture when they throw it away? You smash furniture to pieces and make fire, so all that's left is ashes. That's how it is. Furniture gets no tombstone. It seems you believe death means an end to your humiliation, but that's naive. I'll show you what it really means to disgrace the dead. After taking a puff from her pipe, the witch breathed the smoke at Kanon's corpse. When she did, Kanon's corpse softly floated up into the air and disappeared as though it had been eaten by a mouse in empty space. The witch played dirty till the very end. The corpses of the pair who managed to understand each other in the end were not even permitted to be cool. If someone had been watching, they would probably say mournfully, "So this is what you meant by disgracing the dead." Or Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason for that would soon become apparent. I see. So it has begun. Yes. Even though Kinzo had received news of Six's death, his emotions did not waver. The expression on his face as he gazed out the window was a smile, as though his opponent in a chess game had just made a spectacular move. It was hard to imagine that such an expression could ever appear on a father who had lost so many children at once. Gora and Kanon followed Rosa-sama order went to call the police. After that, ordered us to ignore. What shall we do? This island has already been cut off from the real world. Mere phones serve a purpose. Should I have them stop? Until the roulette is finished, what they do to pass the time is up to them. Let them do as they please. Yes, sir. Should we tell Rosa-sama? Didn't I say they should pass the time as they pleased? They can sing if they want, dance if they want. They're even free to hang themselves by the neck or jump into a boiling kettle. Until 13 people die, they can spend their time as they like. If that's too boring, they can wonder about whether 6 times 9 is 42 or something. That's the answer to the mystery of humanity and the universe. Yes, my apology. Shannon cowered in fright at this sudden rage. Genji made a gesture as though telling her not to speak out of turn. Shannon couldn't help but regret saying too much. However, you two are also free to do what you wish. Genji. And Shannon too. You have done well serving me until today. You're too good for me. But, we are furniture, sworn to serve the master. We stand ready to serve you at a time, till the very end. I want to tell about everything. And I'm going to write a... I shall need you to transcribe. Please, Genji, usual trick. Huh? Yes, sir. Nanjo often recommended that Kinzo write a help, but each time he had, Kinzo had gone mad with rage. Ever since then, you'd think will would have been the word Kinzo hated most. After hearing such a word come from her lips, Shannon couldn't help doubting her ears for an instant. Shannon hurriedly prepared the side table and some writing paper. Genji followed his orders and began preparing that usual green evil drink. Ready. Where should I begin? Shall I also speak of my life? It would be fun to leave behind a record of my most memorable game. It can be truly amusing to read the records of old games centuries past, to journey in search of those players' thoughts. So, with the game record of my life, lead those in the future to go on a journey in search for my thoughts. For a while, Kinzo pondered over where he should begin, strutting all over the room with his hands behind his back. Must. Here. Ah, yes. Thank you, friend. Well then, if I am to speak of my life, I must begin by writing of my meeting with that baby. Jenna, begin writing. My first meeting with Beatrice took place a long way back. What year of the show I aired? It must have been at the end of the war. We took enough time to regain our... We each swore to our parents that we'd catch the culprit. It would be a lie to say we weren't still torn up. Even now, if we let our guards down just a little, we'd probably start going on a rampage like Jessica, letting our emotions show with some kind of violence. According to what Goda-san said after he got back, right now, Kanon-kun was looking after Jessica. Apparently, she was still very emotionally high-strung. I see. Maybe a young kid would be better at standing kids. Probably be better if we left him alone for now. There's nothing more to be gained by remaining. The phones may not be working. Tomorrow, the boat will come, and we should be able to reach the police. We should leave this place as it is for the police's investigation. I agree with Dr. Nanjo. Staying in a place like this for too long will be bad for your health. Let us return and make some black tea. Yeah, I agree with that. Alec, George, are you ready? Let's lock up here. We ought to leave this place as it is anyway, when the police come. okay? Yeah. Tried all I can. I'm fine now. The police would surely find some evidence during the thorough investigation. But we weren't adult enough to wait for that. I'd investigated the chapel in my own way, trying to grab the culprit before the police arrived. And what I figured out was absolutely nothing. Frustrating. I wasn't able to find a single hint. Come on, let's go out. Maria, we're going. Don't keep staring at it. Ugh. Come, Maria-sama. Let us return. It's cold here. Mother, thank you for everything. I will definitely become a man who doesn't betray our expectations. George spoke his last words of farewell to his parents. After seeing that, Valor followed suit. Dad, Kiryu-san, just looking at their face, looked like they were sleeping. But that just made it even more painful. You're not wrong, it does. Forgive me for leaving you in a cold place like this. I'll definitely get whoever did this. No matter what. What is this? What a repulsive scribble. Did the culprit draw it? This is worse than bubblegum. How horrible. When the doors of the chapel was closed, we learned about that creepy scribble for the first time. When we first found this, it was already drawn. It must have been made by the culprit. Real quick, to check something. I want to make sure these pop up on the screen. Nope. Dang. I'll fix it next. Yeah, don't worry. I knew who you meant. And you're not wrong, but you know, there's hidden depths there, as with all these people. So supposedly, the culprit was a witch, and this is a magic circle to summon a demon or something.
This is the 7th magic circle of the sun. Don't you even know that? Ow.
Hey, don't I always tell you not to make that creepy laugh? Maria, go on. What does it mean?
It's a magic circle to escape from physical or mental bond. And the part written around the circle says, "The Lord has freed me from my chain. I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving and will call on the name of the Lord in Hebrew."
Sacrifice of Thanksgiving? So they killed Father and the rest to use them as human sacrifices for the magic circle? Calm down, George. This is the culprit trying to provoke us. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. Thinking about it will only poison the heart. Looks like there's some English written. Happy Halloween for Maria. I get it. And the key to open this door was handed over to Maria. Is that what's going on? Well, this is the chapel. Maybe Maria doesn't mean Maria John, but the Virgin Mary. In that case, you could read this as a blasphemy against God in the name of Halloween. They say witches who make contracts with demons swear to defile God's name at all times. In that sense, this really is a witchly cult. Sounds like you know a lot about it. Did you get that memory. Yeah, something like that. The chapel, huh? They went to all the trouble calling them out here, killing them. Aunt Rosa, does this chapel have some special meaning? What do you mean, special meaning? Oh, someone carried 6 human corpses all the way over here and set up these elaborate decorations. I can't tell if she called the 6 of them over before killing them, or she killed them before carrying them over here. But either way, that would take a lot of effort. Why did the culprit want 6 people to die here? True. By doing something that elaborate, there would be an extremely high chance of some disadvantageous evidence being found by the police. It is inconceivable that the culprit failed to reveal. The issue now is why the culprit went to all that effort. That leads us to just one question. What meaning is there to display where you found the 6 corpses? This chapel was important, Father. Ever since I was a kid, I was given 6 instructions never to enter it.
Ooh, I came here once too. Got in lots of trouble. Ooh.
An important chapel. Does it have some connection to the Shinomiya head family?
I don't know. Well, this chapel is very sacred, and he treasured it so much that he had it redecorated several times. But as everyone knows, Father wasn't a devout believer, as his passion for black magic demonstrated. I've never heard of him coming here to offer his prayers to God.
As far as I know, the master has never come here. We even called it the sealed chapel, and I found it eerie, like a haunted house.
Even though Father never even approached it himself, for some reason, he made the servants give it a major cleaning several times a year. It felt like he kept it clean all the time so that it could be used at any moment. And even so, it's called Sealed Chapel. Maybe it's indiscreet to say this, but doesn't that sound pretty cool? Dr. Nanjo, you're an old friend of Grandfather's, right? Have you heard anything about it?
I did ask about it once, long ago, but I forget exactly how he dodged my question. Oh, that's right, I believe he said something like, someday perhaps I too will be able to receive a blessing there. But unless a miracle occurs, that day will never come. What does that mean? What would he do in a chapel? Couldn't mean his own funeral, right? I wouldn't believe that of Kinzo-san. He was a man much more focused on the living now than matters occurring after death. Though this does seem to be the root cause of the current inheritance problem. Then what would he do in a chapel? Pray. Aren't confessions done in a chapel too? Anyway, it sounds suspicious. I don't know the reason, but just as Dr. Nanji said, in Grandfather's eyes, all this about not being blessed unless a miracle occurred was set in stone as far back as the chapel's construction.
How do you know that?
See, it's clearly written over there. Look, right there. Jordaniki pointed to her relief with rusted gold letters on the arch above the door. It looked like some message had been written there in English. The rust made it clear that the message had been there ever since the chapel's construction. I'm not that good with English. What is it? This door is opened only at probability of... Sorry, my English sucks. I gave up after failing to finish even the first of the two lines. It looked like the others could read it properly. I can guarantee you that Battler is a lot worse than you. I think it went MBTQ. So, how many did that mean? I think. Anyway, this is incredible. Adding up all the fingers on both hands doesn't even get you close. It really would be impossible unless a miracle occurred. Certainly. It's quite reminiscent of the old king's son, who loved using gambling as a metaphor whenever he got the chance. Hey, come on, can everyone read it? Someone tell me what it means too.
Gotta at least learn English. How did you get into high school without even being able to read this much? Ow. Ow. Ow.
Mind your own business. So what's written there?
Simply put, it means something like this. Unless a miracle occurs, this door will never be opened. Unless a miracle occurs, you will never be blessed. Grandfather's magic is based on astronomically low probability. In other words, a miracle for opening this door would probably require an incredibly vast amount of magical power. Ow.
Nice job. You can shut up. Rosa-san, did you have Maria take English classes? Looks like it's useless to try and learn English unless you start when you're young, after all. My English is deteriorating fast, apparently. I understand. The sealed chapel. Setting aside whether there was a witch or not, it's rumored that Beatrice actually existed several decades.
Like,
And that she was grandfather's mistress. This is, just my imagination. But perhaps the master truly did love Beatrice-san. However, he was already married, so they couldn't be united. See, if Beatrice was dead and could be revived with the magic of a miracle, then, now that grandmother's dead, he could marry her openly. And if they married in this chapel, you might end up with a pretty fairy tale-like story, right? I don't think that story is so preposterous. A well-known fact that father still loves Beatrice deeply. So even though I said I found it creepy, I seem to remember that the interior of the chapel was quite magnificent. The thought that father built this chapel in the hopes of having a wedding with his dead mistress might not be that unlikely. By the time he built this chapel, grandfather probably knew that he would never use it as a church as long as he lived, but he prayed for the witch to be revived with a miracle. And he thought that, if that miracle occurred, they could be married. I see. If you think of it that way, then this would be a place of utmost significance to Beatrice-sama as well. Even though he knew the chapel would never be opened. It's a story of tragic love. Even though Goda-san, even bigger than me, his words were touching. Everyone was silent, but it seemed that they agreed with that view. Even though he knew it was a chapel to be opened, he still probably dreamed of the day that a miracle occurred. Kinzo-san was quite the romantic in his younger days. I think I understand how he felt. I wonder. Then again, everyone went in it 4 times a year to clean, right? So much for it being the sealed chapel. Didn't we just go in ourselves? It wasn't a miracle or anything. We brought the key, click, and we're in. That's all. This is ridiculous. Huh? What? Then, what does that mean? What are you talking about? As far as I could tell, I'd just been joking around, finding myself a bit irritated by the sob story turning into. But then Aunt Rosa suddenly jumped on with a really serious face. Aunt Rosa's face grew increasingly pale. She looked at the magic circle on the door, and then at her hand, back and back and What is the matter, Rosa-sama? Hey, Koda-san, the key to this chapel. Didn't Genji-san say it? He said there was only one. Huh?
It took you all way too long to figure it out.
When a kid pulls a prank, it sometimes goes unnoticed by the adults, and the kid who did it gets all disappointed. If such a prank then gets sprung on someone much later, it can really make the kid's day. Maria's celebration just now looks a lot like that. Yes, that's right. There's only one of those keys. It's the key to the Master's Treasure Chapel, though there is only one, with no duplicates. It is normally kept safe in the key box servant. That's right. And Genji-san said it had gone missing. So, someone stole it, put it in an envelope, and handed it to Maria. And they did it yesterday. What the? So another... Isn't that strange? That's absurd. This is getting bizarre. What do you mean? I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Me neither. Would you explain it for us? Goda and Nanja's failure to understand definitely wasn't because they're stupid. They didn't know. They didn't know how long the only key to the chapel had been in Maria's possession. There's no mistake. It was locked up. I unlocked it. There's no doubt. Aunt Rosa kept closing the door, locking it, pulling on it to check the lock, and opening it again. Her face was becoming pale again. Until I took the key out of Maria's envelope and opened this door, it was definitely locked. But this key was in an envelope placed in Maria's care. And that happened yesterday before noon. What did you say? But that doesn't make any sense. You're right. Maria received a one-of-a-kind key from a woman calling herself a witch midday yesterday. In other words, from midday yesterday until this morning, when Rosa-san unlocked the door, this chapel was a closed room. How did they get those 6 people in here? And then, how did they kill them? The deaths of 6 people had shaken us badly. When we learned about the weird magic circle and the history of the chapel, it felt as though we'd figured out at least part of the puzzle. But that was all absolutely trivial. Fix that later. From midday yesterday until this morning, this chapel was a closed room. But our parents were with us until last night. How did the culprit get into this building? And how did they lock it up again? What are you trying to pull? Again? A closed room again? Are you trying to say you unlocked it with the power of magic? Don't take me for a fool. If you're demanding that I show you how to open locks with my power, I wouldn't mind. But that wouldn't be the same as me forcing you to surrender. You keep trying to explain it all with humor. Only when I've cornered all your theories completely will I have my victory. Come now, how will you undermine my defenses? What trick could a human have used to defeat them? It's just like the closed rooms last time. Not enough information. It's impossible to reason like this. Any excuse could be made. Any trick could work. There's no way to reason it out. Ha! That again. There's not enough information, so you'll wait and see. Your information is uncertain, so it's impossible to use your reasoning. This is always the excuse you humans use to let yourself stop thinking. Who do you think you are, lowly human? Are you saying you can't even think unless you're like Laplace's demon, you incompetent fool? Besides, you make it seem like a lack of information works against you, but it's the other way around, you see. The more information you're given, the more it will make you suffer. It'll only increase the strength of the compression and squeeze. In that case, let me say this. It's impossible to verify this is a closed room in the first place. If we're already talking about demons, I can play that game too. It'd be possible to prove that this isn't a closed room. Just show how someone could have gone in or out, and you're done. But it's impossible to prove that this is a closed room. You could never deny the endless set of possible methods for getting in. In other words, this is one of those devil's proofs. This concept of a closed room is actually something that can never be proved. Oh, first you stopped thinking, for the lack of information as an excuse, and now this. Very well. If that is your move, then I will accept it. Continue. First off, looks like you're trying to claim that the chapel's a closed room. A short while ago, I spent some time looking around in there, and I couldn't find any way in or out except for the door. But that just means I couldn't find it. It doesn't prove it was a closed room. If there's a hidden door or something that I wasn't able to find, the premise would be blown away completely. In other words, whether I manage to find a hidden door or not, you'll never be able to deny there exists some method X that would let you into the closed room. This method X would be something that could be carried out without magic. After all, it's a hidden door. I'm sure that in this chapel there's some hidden door that's impossible to find. That's why there's no reason for me to reason it out. Magic is still impossible. So you'll use that logic. Naive. Unexpected move. Let me make my move in response. These closed rooms used in detective novels made by mere humans always seem utterly ridiculous to me. Why? Because they're used the wrong way. When a closed room appears in a detective novel, do you really think it's a closed room? You don't, do you? What trick did they use to make this look like a closed room? That's... In other words, there hasn't been a completed closed room in any of the closed room murders that humans have built over the last century. Ah, better not say that unless you want to face the wrath of the mystery fans. Christie's probably grinding her teeth in her grave. But I am different. I have given birth to a true closed room, and I can demonstrate it. Why? Because I am a witch. For the devil's proof, you only have to bring someone a demon to prove that they exist, correct? Well, I conveniently happen to be a witch, meaning that demons are my good friend, and I can bring you as many of them as you like. Sounds great. Dad and the rest use the hidden door to enter the chapel or were carried into it. How do you plan to beat that move? With it. Regardless of whether they were alive or dead, the six definitely entered through the door. Huh? Dumbass. The door was locked, so how did they do it? I opened it with magic and invited them inside. That can't be true. Since I can't accept magic, there's no way I'll accept that. You're lying. That door can be opened with some trick. Or maybe there's a hidden door, but I won't accept any other way. Perpetual check. That's what we call an endless repetition of moves in chess. It's the same endless repetition as a discussion that won't advance, as both sides deny the basis of each other's claims, like our game. In most games, this would be resolved as a draw, but that would put a terrible damper on our fun. We will have no draw. You will either accept me and submit to me, or you will deny me. At least I agree with you there. We'll settle this without fail, just as you wish. I like that attitude. So I had a thought. I think I'll add a new rule to this game between the two of us. A new. I'll bet it's something that'll give you an advantage, right? Of course not. I will give you the thing people like you always demand. The reason you always stop thinking and then moan about it is a lack of information. And if you are then given information, you start doubting whether the information is true or not by rejecting the source. Isn't that convenient? What clever little words to hide your own incompetence. I am offering to eliminate that convenient excuse of yours. You should thank me. You said they entered through the door, and I said that couldn't happen. Calling that an evasive answer? Exactly. So, from now on, when I speak the truth, I will use red. What is it? Keep explaining. No matter what magical move I use, you can always keep running away by chanting lack of information by rejecting the source. Even though I would still win in the end that way, it would be truthful. Because of that, I'd be happy to give you the information and sources you so desire. However, you'll probably doubt each word I say. That is bad in itself. I also will use every possible move to make you submit. I don't dislike our posture of searching out our best moves for our own goal. But that won't make a game. So, I set up this rule. Everything I speak in red is the truth. There's absolutely no need to doubt it. Are you telling me to believe that? This is a game between you and me. In a game, the rules are sacred. Those who take that lightly are not qualified to play. Okay, I get you. I'll accept that rule. Even an elementary school kid can get into an endless argument and find fault with everything. Then, let's start it up again, continuing where we left off. I'll say it one more time. Dad and the rest used a hidden door to enter the chapel, were carried in through it. Then I shall repeat what I said. Regardless of whether they were alive or dead, the six definitely entered through the door. Is there any proof? Hey Camel, welcome to the stream. You might need a recap. I can do that in a sec. If you want. If not, that's cool. Stop. I will supplement the rule. When I speak the truth, I will use red. And when I do, I will not bear the responsibility of establishing that claim by showing proof. They will simply be facts and the truth. My reason is simple. I carried out all the crimes with magic. So for any impossible crime, all I have to do is wave my magic staff and show you how it's done. That would make a game. It would be as barbaric as ignoring victory and defeat in a chess match and punching your opponent in the face. I can safely say it doesn't. Well, that makes sense. Since you're a witch, there's no need for you to show evidence for what happened, since you can do anything with magic. Damn it. Talk about an unfair game. So, shall we resume once more? The six definitely entered the door. I unlocked it with magic. How will you get around this magic? This was root. Let's pause it there for a second. Because I need to save. And yeah. Okay, so what I am playing is a game called Umineko no Naku Koro. It's a Japanese murder mystery visual novel. It's not really a game. It's about a very rich family who own an island, and they all meet up on the island once a year. And this year, a typhoon kicks in, so they're completely sealed off, and people start dying. There's also some rumors about 10 tons of gold, I think, and that's like million. So everyone's searching for the gold. The gold was supposedly bestowed upon the family by a witch, Beatrice, who is actually this lady over here that we are talking to right now. This is our main character. It's like Scooby-Doo, but with gruesome murders. So, oopsie. This is our main character. He's cool. This is actually the second game in the series. In the first go-around, everyone died. Everyone. Including the kids. And at the very, very end, the witch appears, talks to our main character, Battler, and challenges him to a game to basically figure out what happened. She keeps saying, I will prove that I did all this with magic, and you will give up and submit to me, yes, the same way. And he keeps saying, no, humans did it. But also, these humans are my family, friend, so I don't really want them to be guilty. So he's in a bit of a pickle right now. So at the end of the last game, the witch waved her magic wand and we started over again. And the second go around, again, 6 people have died so far. Actually, that's not true. 8 people so far. Because both Jessica, Balor's cousin, Kanon, one of the servants, were just murdered by the witch, who has appeared on the island this time as a 19th person, which threw everything into like disarray. Because now there's like a mysterious extra person, and the initial murder was a closed room mystery. Yeah, I mean the second game, yeah. If I were to do 2 playthroughs of this entire game, I've been calculating this entire series is going to take me a year to play through. So 2 playthroughs would take 2 years. Yeah, it's a very long series, and I love it a lot. I've actually played all of it already, 12 years ago, when it first came out. Yeah. Right now, we're basically debating with the witch to see if we can figure out how this murder was executed. And yeah. I'll actually pop up a little content warning again, in case anyone, for you and anyone else who's new, who just arrived. Because things get a little gruesome. As you might expect in a game where people are murdered over and over again. It's also got really good music. I'm a big fan of that. And yeah, currently most of the family is like, they're all grouped together. Their crazy grandfather, Kinzo, is in another room with one of the servants, Genji. But the group, none of them know that the other 2 are dead yet. So they're probably gonna find out very soon. So it's gonna get sad. It's a very crazy game, but like in the best way. I hope that wasn't too late. Crinkly. Yeah. I'm gonna get back into it. I hope that made some degree of sense. Really, also, I have a little link to the whole playlist for anyone who wants to check the previous episodes out. And I'm planning on doing some reruns at some point, but I mean, you can also just sort of sit back and enjoy the music. It's just a really cool game. Yeah. The key. Genji-san and the others said there was only one key, but that's impossible to prove. The culprit secretly made a duplicate key. Only one key to the chapel exists. Then what about this? The culprit made something other than a legitimate key and opened it. I don't know what, but maybe a wire. A tool for picking locks. What is this naive move? It is impossible to unlock the lock to the chapel with anything but the chapel's key. Although it could be opened with the power of magic, right? Then what about this? There's something wrong with the door itself. There was some way to pass through it even while it was locked. As to what that is, I can think of a few ways. Maybe it's like those big doors on a castle that have a smaller door in them. It's also possible that they removed the hinges and then removed the whole door before entering. The fuck, Battler? Isn't this the best century of human wisdom can manage, Battler? When the door to the chapel is locked, it prevents any and all methods of entry or exit. She just actually confirmed that there is no copy of the key. There's a really obvious other way for this to have happened, but I'll let Battler do the sleuthing. Assuming you can't use magic, right? Is it about time for checkmate? Don't give up yet. Not even close. You said those 6 people entered through a door, but you didn't say it was the front door. They might have entered through another door, a secret one. You talk too much, you incompetent fool. Then let me expand on my earlier proof. The 6 definitely entered through this front door. That's screwed up. The door is locked, it was impossible to unlock it without using that single key, and yet 6 people entered through it? How? With magic, you say? Damn it. Are we already seeing the limits of what humanity can manage? Then shout that you resign. When one admits defeat, it's customary to shout it out, and knock over their own king. So, do you resign? Then announce your surrender and knock your king over by kneeling. Then you may kiss my shoe. There could be no greater joy than forcing a man like you to lick my shoe. Damn it. It's useless. So I can't win against the witch? This isn't chess at all, I've just been made to take the losing side in a chess puzzle. Is quibbling about details and getting a draw the best I can manage? That's the one thing that'll never happen. Either I will surrender or you. There can be no other resolution. What happened to that bravery you displayed when you set this would-be torch for his boat? Hey, what a disappointment. What a total letdown. Wouldn't you say we should have made a battler? Damn it, what should I do? I can see it. I can see the place where I'll face checkmate. It's useless. All my hard-fought moves have been nothing more than me desperately moving my king around, running away from check. No matter how many times I move, I can't escape from check. Even without waiting for the next several moves, I can see checkmate in my future. Damn it! After a few more moves, I can zero face check. Don't give up. You show me Battler. Hello, welcome to the stream. Oh, hey, Small. How are you doing? got a lot of new people today. I feel bad because this is such a I don't like this is like episode 17 or some junk. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, murder mystery. I'm gonna drop a content warning so that you know what potentially could happen. Rich family stuck on an island. Everyone died in the first episode. This is the second episode. A witch revived everyone and challenged our protagonist battler to like a game of wits, like Scooby-Doo but worse. And yeah, there's rumors that there's Scooby-Doo. There's rumors that the family, the head of the family, got 10 tons of gold, which is a huge amount of money, from a witch, and that the witch is out to kill them as collateral because the gold was a loan. And that's basically the claim is that that's why the family is dying. Balor thinks that it's just people who did this, and he's trying to prove it. Meanwhile, the witch is saying, I did all of this with magic. So far, 6 people have been murdered, and I don't think I mentioned how they were murdered yet, but this is going to be gross. They were sliced open at the stomach, and then candy was stuffed inside. And that's how they were all left in the chapel. 2 other people were murdered since. One of Balor's cousins and one of the younger servants. We don't... Technically, it's all kind of up for debate if we've seen the witch perform magic or not. What we do know is that the story is looping and the witch seems to be the one doing it. Which you could consider, yeah, that's probably magic. However, like, on the island itself, all we have so far is some scenes where people appear to see her perform magic. Like, there's golden butterflies and stuff, and at some point she made a crushed piece of candy become whole again. But our, like, vocal character, Battler, has not seen her do any magic yet. So it's kind of up in the air. It's complicated. And that's part of what makes it all so fun. Yeah, things are tense right now because he's kind of about to give up, but I think he's about to give himself a pep talk to keep reasoning it out. Telling himself, don't give up, you should have been a battler. I can see myself getting closed in upon. Then, if I spin the chessboard around, I should be able to anticipate her next move. Yeah, it's not even the middle, really. This is like 24%, 25% in. Now even less. But you have already missed like a full episode and then a good half of this episode. So it's hard to follow, but I hope the recap helped, at least. Remember what Kitty-san said. When you're thinking about something, then the closer you get to the very, very end, the easier it becomes to anticipate. Spin it around. Spin the chessboard around. What happened? You fell silent all of a sudden. Fear not. Surrender is but a momentary shame. And after that, all that remains is the joy of entrusting your fate entirely to the hands of your new master. Come on, cry out in resignation. I can't hear you. Speak up. Say it clearly. Enough babbling. You're just to listen. So I'll say it once more. I won't resign. Continue. Resume the game. Very well. It is your turn, after all. I made the mistake of thinking this rule you made was your own weapon. However, I've realized that it can also become a weapon for me. It all comes down to this. Please do give it a try. I've been focusing all this time on how they entered the closed chapel. That approach was useless. It's useless, it's all useless. Spin the chessboard around. That's right. I was thinking about it backwards. This is how I should approach it. How was the chapel, which wasn't a closed room in the first place, made to look like a closed room? Here it comes. That thinking technique humans gave birth to over the course of a century. Give it a try. Say this in bed. If you can't, then refuse. There go. For those of you who just joined, anything she says in red is the truth. Technically, we don't have actual proof of that, but it's safe to assume that that is what happened. Does this man tend to reverse his defensive? Impudent. I get that the only way to enter the chapel is through the door, and that there's only one key. But wait. The question is whether that key really was handed over to Maria yesterday. No. I'm dragging this on. Do try and get to the point. It's something like this. We've been under the impression that the key's been unusable since midday yesterday. So we've assumed that this was a closed room from midday yesterday till the morning. I want to hear you say that this impression is a solid fact. Interesting. So you turn your reasoning not to the door, but to the key. Yesterday, Maria received an envelope from me. She didn't open it, but she might have felt it and known there was a key inside. But it's not like she'd have been able to confirm absolutely that it was the key to the chapel. Here's what I'm getting at. The thing inside the envelope given to Maria was a fake. If you think about what you're saying, this morning, Rosa definitely took an envelope out of Maria's hand, and from that, obtained the genuine key to the chapel. It wasn't a fake, as you suggest. I know that much. I'll continue. In that case, when Maria first received the envelope, the thing inside it was definitely that same key to the chapel. See what I'm getting at? Midday yesterday, you gave Maria an envelope with a key inside, and you told her that she must open it. Maria probably realized it had a key inside. Later on, Aunt Rosa used the thing inside the envelope to open the door to the chapel, and that's why we assumed it was the key to the chapel lock. This is the suspicious part. So this is what you're trying to say. That when I entrusted Maria with a key, that key was a fake. It's like an audiobook, yeah, but with music and images. And yeah, pretty much. That when I entrusted Maria with the key was fake, and then by the time Rosa obtained it, it had been switched to the real thing. Yeah, that's it. What's wrong, Beatrice-sama? You've been looking a bit pale for a while now, huh? Oh, they actually spell it out. That's neat. I forgot about that. Those close to me sometimes call me Beato. Beato. It's your turn, Beato. The turn of the Golden Witch. Let's see you dodge it. Very cool. The key to the chapel truly was the object inside the envelope I gave Maria. I'll move forward. Can you repeat it in red? That envelope was completely under Maria's supervision until Aunt Rosa opened it. You can't say it? Then say you refuse. Check. spun it all around with just one. Now it's your king on the run, Kato. I have a reason for refusing. It regards the definition of the phrase under her supervision. In its purest meaning, Maria would need to have her eyes on it around the clock for that to be true. But Maria didn't go that far. It may have been completely under supervision when she took it out her handbag, but after she put it inside, it disappeared from her field of vision. In that sense, the phrase under her supervision would be inappropriate, so I couldn't use the red. I'll bet that move hurt. And your face tells me you've guessed the next one. Sorry. I'm kind to women. I don't hurt them. And I never betray a woman's expectation. It's time for you to repeat it in red, if you think you can. No one was able to touch Maria's handbag until Aunt Rosa took out the envelope. I will also refuse this one. I won't explain. That's wrong. It's not that you won't explain it, it's that you can't explain it. That move gives us checkmate, doesn't it? If you can't do it, then I'll explain. The key to the chapel really was in the envelope you handed to Maria. It's a good question, I never thought about that. Maybe it's like floating text that appeared. The key to the chapel really was in the envelope you handed to Maria. Then Maria put it in her handbag, and the next morning, Aunt Rosa took it out and opened the lock. However, Maria didn't have the handbag under her complete supervision. There's no need for magic. It's a closed room trick that's possible for a human. The human culprit handed Maria the key. By making Aunt Rosa use it the next morning, they created the illusion there was a closed room during that time. You can't deny the possibility that during that time, the culprit took the key from Maria's handbag, used it, and returned it by morning. Can you say it in red? Repeat it. If you can say it, then say it. Let's check again. Not yet. I removed the check. The envelope with the key in it should have been sealed with wax. Rosa took it from an unopened envelope. Really? Then try saying it. Repeat it. The envelope handed over midday yesterday and the one Aunt Rosa opened are the same thing. That I can repeat. The envelope I handed over to Maria and the one Rosa opened are the same thing. It's useless. It's all useless. It doesn't even matter anymore. I expected more from you. I figured that if you were a bit better at reading between the lines, you'd resign right there. Though I'm disappointed. You've betrayed my expectations. What? Who cares if the envelopes were the same? Envelopes can be sealed with wax over and over. The key inside is what's important. This time it's all over. Goldfinch. It's a real checkmate. I'll say it one more time. Repeat it. If you can say it, try saying it. The key to the chapel inside the envelope Maria received wasn't used even once until Aunt Rosa opened the envelope. How could I can't still love a human. I'll keep on saying it, Beatrice. Repeat it. The key to the chapel inside the envelope Maria received wasn't used even once until Aunt Rosa opened the envelope. Yeah. Hold on. If you're gonna yell, then say you resign. This settles it. This is the truth. Before Aunt Rosa obtained Maria's key this morning, at one point, it passed into someone else's hand. Then, they used it, resealed it, and returned it to Maria's handbag, making it look like it hadn't been used. This is a trick with a cheap loophole, the assumption that the key wasn't used because the sealing wax wasn't opened. Checkmate. There's no magic, and it's nothing more than a trick that's possible for humans. In that case, who do you say stole the key? Try answering. This time, you try repeating it. That's right, I'm making you repeat things all the time. I probably have to answer every once in a while. But I refuse. My condition for victory is denying a witch's existence. I'll prove that this impossible crime done with your magic was actually possible by human hands. I've smashed your closed room with something possible even for humans. However, I won't specifically investigate who the culprit is. Because I believe in humans. Because I definitely won't accept that there's a person among us who would steal the key from Maria, use it, and do something so horrible. I give up. I resign. Just once, for this skirmish, I'll give up. You really are naive, Battler. Parting remarks are a loser's privilege. Say as many as you like. Since you continue to deny my existence, you'll eventually be cornered. After all, since you deny me, you will have to suspect those relatives that you can't stop loving. In the last moments when you have to suspect one who is beloved to you, then you will surely accept my existence. True, you have defeated me in this skirmish alone. However, that naive logic will definitely destroy you. You can't win against me after all. You should have been a battler. I feel like that's a good stopping point. And thanks, Camel. I steal it all from my streamer friends. All the ideas and stuff. And oh, I need to set up. No. Okay, I think this is a really good stopping point. Because this really neatly wraps up the arc and leaves us with a good point to start from next time. So I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is, because I just realized something a little while ago, I'm gonna sign off for the VOD, and after that, I'm not gonna cut the stream. I'm gonna keep going a little longer and set up some avatar stuff, and sort of do a little fiddling around with that. But I'll like pretend to say goodbye. I can snip it off. So yeah. And I'm gonna quick, you know the drill. Let's see. Let's turn off. Do a big old transition. Turn off the rain noise because it's gonna drive you crazy. And I'm gonna pop up music. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that was a really tense episode, honestly. And I had one of those. All right, have a good night, Camel. Thank you for dropping by. And have fun. I had one of those moments again where it was like, oh no, this thing means this thing. You know? Oh no, I see through the plot now. Which is a little upsetting, but you know. That just means that it's a good story. Yeah, as always, I say this every week, and I mean it every week. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who was in the chat, talking. All of you, whether you're here or not, I appreciate you being here. It's just great that, you know, I can bring this story to more people. I don't know. I'm gonna be playing Phasmophobia with some friends tomorrow, some streamer friends. So keep an eye on my Twitter, and I'm gonna announce which channel I'm gonna be on. It's not gonna be mine. It'll be, you know, the usual. If you've been around here for a while. I will also be hosting them. So if you drop in here, see what it is. I don't know what time it is gonna be yet, but I'll do my best to announce it. That should be fun. Hopefully a lot of spooks. And me being cool as a cucumber, because I'm not afraid of no ghosts. And aside from that, just regular schedule next week. So we're gonna be back in a week with more Umineko. Yeah, that's it. Have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you here again soon.